Namaste. Hi, how are you? Check in with yourself. How are you? Close your eyes. Look inside yourself. Just scan your inner landscape. How are you in this moment? Is there a lot of movement inside your body? Is there noise? Is there tension? What's going on in there? Pay attention. What's going on in the top of your head? What's happening in your forehead? Is there movement or tightness in your cheeks? What are your lips doing right now? How does the jaw feel? The neck? Shoulders? Go inside your shoulders now. How are they? What's their current state? Go into the arms and fingers. Is there relaxation there? Or are you holding something? Go back to the bottom of the neck, the top of the back. Start to travel down the spine. How is it there? What is the state of the spine? Walk slowly down the spine and connect with the low back. What's happening there? What about the hips? Hips that carry, that ground. How do they feel? And what about your legs? Travel down the thigh into the knees. And down the shin bone. What's happening in the legs? How are your feet in this moment? Check in with all parts of the feet, the heels, spread across the arch of the foot, into the big toe, and the second toes. How does the middle toe feel? Into the fourth toe and the little toe. How are you? How's the body? What about the breath? What's the breath doing in this moment? Is it smooth and shallow? Is there an effort to deepen the breath? And if there is there any tension that follows that? Is there any expectation of how you should be breathing in this moment? What does the mind say about the breath? Let go of concentration on the breath and concentrate on the mind. Sit and wait for a thought. Notice the waiting, the watching. Is there anticipation there? What is my next thought going to be? Keep watching and waiting for the thought to come. And when a thought comes, notice that it's there. Watch it all the way to the end until you can wait again for the next thought. How are you? How's the mind? Are there many thoughts or few? Watch the thought. Wait for the next thought. And when you experience a thought, see if you can pinpoint inside the head where the thought occurs. Find that place. Where do the thoughts happen? Now settle your concentration, your focus, just behind there. Maybe settling into the back of the skull. As if you're sinking into a recliner chair at the movie. Settle in and watch the screen. What's happening in the mind? Whatever's happening, let it happen. Just watch. There's no need to control. Nothing is good or bad here. We're just noticing. How are you? How is the mind in this moment? Good. Keep watching. What is the mind doing? If you feel the need to shift your body, go ahead and do that. As you watch the mind and the mind says there's discomfort in the legs, make a conscious decision to change the positioning. And then once you settle back in, sink back to that place in the back of your head where you can watch the movie of the mind. There's the mind doing its thinking, and here I am resting behind it, watching, listening, feeling. There's the body sitting, the breath breathing, and the mind thinking. And here I rest, observing it all. Good. Come back to the breath now. Watch the breath for a few moments. And now check in with the physical body again. Gently blink open the eyes. As we settle into the witness, the observer, we effectively detach from the body, from the mind, and begin to notice the nature of the mind. So if we can watch the mind, if we can watch the thoughts, then we are not the mind and we are not the thoughts. Just like I can watch my hand rise up, I can watch the breath come in and out of my body. I also know that my body has these automatic processes. So if something were to come at me, a reflex would raise my hand up. And if I'm not paying attention to my breath is still breathing, right? The organs of respiration are still breathing me. But I can also have control over them. So I can control when my hand rises or when it doesn't. And I can control the depth of my breath, the timing of my breath, the space that my breath occupies. And so in the same way, our mind, when we're not paying attention, is randomly spitting out thoughts, and most of them are thoughts that don't serve us. And so all we have to do is pay attention. So if you pay attention, we see a baby, right? Little babies and their arms are flailing all over the place, and then they start to gain control. And then they start to be able to grasp things with their hand, right? And so it's the same way with us as we start to check in with our body, controlling our body, being able to crawl, being able to walk, being able to run, ride a bicycle, right? And same with the breath. We begin to control our breath. And as we slow down our breath, we can slow down our mind. Then we watch the mind. How do we control? How do we calm the mind? By paying attention to it, okay? By practicing. So when you were a kid, you didn't just look at a bicycle, watch somebody else ride it, and then did it, right? It took days of practice, hours of practice, maybe a couple of skinned knees. Okay? Calming the mind is the same. You have to commit to doing this every day. It's not going to just come because you sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day, or because you practice asana, yoga. It's not going to just come. It comes with effort, with practice. So you have to watch your mind all the time. You have to watch what it's doing, not just in times of joy and gratitude and love and things that you love to do, not just during those times, but during the times, and especially during the times, when you feel yucky, when you feel sad, depressed, frustrated, angry. Those are the times that it's most important to watch the mind. Check in, talk to yourself. Hello, mind, how are you? How are you? Talk to it like a child, right? So children get angry. They're learning how to control their emotions, so are we. How are you today, mind? I notice that you're reacting to something. I see that reaction. Watch the anger. Watch the sadness. Watch the doubt. Watch it. All of it. Because all of it is part of the human experience. It's all meant to be felt. Calming the mind doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. Okay? It doesn't mean pushing thoughts away. Calming the mind means allowing for everything that's in the experience, allowing for the whole range of emotions, the whole range of thoughts and experiences, allowing them to be there. But watching them, paying attention to them. That's what calming the mind is about. Paying attention, concentrating. Meditation is just concentration. Can you concentrate on the mind all the time? It's hard. Nothing about this is easy. Begin to watch. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Watch the thought that happens right before that thing comes out of your mouth. Watch the emotion that's tied behind it. Watch all of it. So until you see this next video, practice watching the mind. Watch the behaviors, watch the actions, watch the words, and watch the mind. It's easier when you're sitting in quiet meditation to pay attention to the mind. It's much, much harder when you're in the midst of a conversation with someone, a heated debate, a discussion. I challenge you to watch it then. Am I being the witness of my mind, or am I allowing it to control me? Am I allowing it to flail about like a baby without control of their hands? In every moment, watch, observe, take notes. Yeah, if you like to journal, and if you don't like to journal, get out your old rusty journal, and before you practice meditation, write down everything that comes into the mind. Then practice your meditation. Just practice watching the mind, that's all. Then afterwards, write down everything that came. Then, write about how it feels to have a calm mind. And if you don't know, just imagine. How does it feel when the mind is calm? Can you hear every sound in nature? Is there a stillness, a relaxation? Can you smell the sweet freedom of being calm? Your assignment is to write down in your journal, before you practice watching the mind, and you don't have to sit in meditation with eyes closed and legs crossed. No. Practice it when you're running. Practice it when you're lying in bed. Practice it when you wake up first thing in the morning. What's happening in my mind? Okay? So write down what's happening before you practice watching the mind. Then write down what's happening after you practice watching the mind. Then write down a full account, including all the 5 senses, about how it feels to have a calm mind. And write about it in the present tense. Right? So My mind is calm. I can smell the sweet smells of the forest. I can feel the sensation of my muscles liquefying inside my body. I can see every detail of the beautiful world around me. I feel grateful. I appreciate the people who love me. And taste the sweet freedom of a calm mind. First step to calming the mind is just watching it. Pay attention. How do you teach a puppy or a child something new? By ignoring them? By just letting them run about and do whatever they want? No. You teach and you train by first paying attention. Give your mind attention, just like you would a child. Have this reckless child running about inside my head, right? Causing this distress and destruction and all of these things inside of my head. Treat it kindly, treat it gently. Watch the mind. Say, mind, I see you. I see what you're doing. Just observe. Okay, move on to the next when you're ready. Namaste.